Disclaimer: the following documentary contains allegations in investigative journalism based on publicly available information. All claims that involve illegal activity are alleged, and viewers are advised to form their own opinions. Welcome to Surviving Diddy, the Boule Bad Boy. This is not just a story about a mogul. It's an investigation where we unravel the mysteries surrounding one of music's most powerful figures and the tragedies that have followed him throughout his career. Born on November 4th, 1969, Shyne John Combs grew up in the tough streets of Harlem.
This is Harlem, a place almost everybody has heard of, but where most outsiders have never been. Every urban problem that plagues this country is represented here, and you can find it all within a few blocks of this rooftop. Broken families, rampant street crime, the worst housing this side of Calcutta, alcoholism, street gangs, and the worst plague of all, drug addiction.
The son of Melvin Combs, a man with alleged ties to drug kingpin Frank Lucas, Shyne was exposed to power and violence at an early age.
Me and Melvin Combs were good friends. We did a lot of business together. Of course, it was not a legal business, but we did a lot of business together.
Mob murders not only mess up sidewalks, they also hurt neighborhood reputations. Bensonhurst in Brooklyn is a perfect example. A lot of very nice people live there who wouldn't think of breaking the law. But their neighborhood takes a bad rap because of the few who do.
Combs first experienced tragedy in 1972 when his father Melvin was murdered, an event that would shape the young boy's ambitions. After the death of his father, Shyne's mother Janice took on multiple jobs to raise him. However, some rumors suggest that these jobs may not have always been what they seemed. Despite the challenges, Shyne's drive to escape the struggles of Harlem led him to Howard University.
Let me just turn around here. This is where he was in here, you know, downstairs in the basement. You know what I'm saying? This is BS. Hey, yo, let me see. Nah. I got put. Nah. Get this old school.
Howard University versus Uptown Records. Diddy's ambition knew no bounds, quickly earned a reputation as a master party promoter, but academia wasn't for him. In late 1989, he dropped out to pursue his passion for music and scored an internship at Andre Harrell's Uptown Records.
For Jodeci tonight, Mary J, Blige, and Father MC. And all put together by, first this man in the middle here, and then he's passed it on to, I guess, his son. Protege.
Yes.
Puffy.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about this man and why you like working with him.
Because, you know, he's not intimidated by youth, you know what I'm saying? He knows the importance of leaving a legacy behind. Because we need more adults out there that's going to teach the young, such as myself, and, you know, basically leave a legacy behind, leave something behind, you know.
His time at Uptown catapulted him into the music scene. Combs was instrumental in shaping the careers of Mary J. Blige and Jodeci, marking the start of what seemed like a golden era. But even then, dark clouds followed him. In 1991, a celebrity basketball event he hosted led to a stampede at City College of New York, resulting in 9 deaths.
I don't want anyone to forget what this show's supposed to be about, and I want to devote the rest of the show to making sure that what happened to their children never happens again. Dougie Fresh, how do you fix it?
Well, to bring it back to what the show is established on, and that is the incident at City College and the families that's suffering from this situation.
It was a deep experience for me. I was there, I was on the floor, I watched people take their last breath, regurgitate, and die.
Okay, you said a female?
Yeah, a female.
Of asthma?
Yeah, she had an asthma attack?
Uh-huh.
She passed out unconscious. They can't revive her.
We were there at the doorway pulling people in, trying to get them. It was bananas. I pulled friends through the door. You know,
If everyone would have just kept calm and perhaps backed out, it wouldn't have been as bad as it was.
This was one of the first major controversies that would follow him. Puff Daddy meets Usher. Allegedly, around this time, L.A. Reid, co-founder of LaFace Records, played a pivotal role in discovering Usher at just 13 years old.
He really charmed the girls in my office.
Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe this little kid was doing all the things he was doing, getting in their face, kissing their hand.
LaFace Records, a label that operated under Clive Davis's Arista umbrella, wanted to develop Usher into a superstar. Reid, recognizing Usher's raw talent, believed he needed guidance from an industry heavyweight with a proven track record. This led Reid to send Usher to Puff Daddy's notorious Flavor Camp for artist development. At the camp, Diddy exposed Usher to the party-heavy culture of the entertainment world. This period was formative for Usher's career, but it's been rumored that the exposure to such an environment at a young age also had its challenges.
To New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
Come on.
But hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Off the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And I'm
What the fuck did Puff just say?
In 1993, Puff was fired from Uptown Records by Andre Harrell. Harrell, Puffy's mentor and the head of Uptown, explained that Sean was undeniably talented, but his vision and approach didn't align with Uptown's culture.
It's kind of funny because, Andre Harrell, you have a lot to do with the legend of Diddy. And you know that.
Puff was my intern. He started in the record business with me. He lived with me. I bought him his first new car. I told him the record business, basically.
And you also let him go, which in turn inspired him to come back with Bad Boy and go.
Well, we even gave him Bad Boy. We signed Bad Boy. The reason I let him go is because he wanted to put out Biggie, and the president's secretary was reading the lyrics. The president of MCA, who distributed us at that time, and she thought they were too. She told the president that we can't put this out, and so the president came to me and said, "Tell Puff you got to change the lyrics." And I said, "I'm not doing that." I said, "It's not for me to stifle this generation." I said, "What we need to do is satellite Puff out, give him his own office." So he could run his ship the way he wants to run. I said, I told him everything. He knows how to do it now. I said, he's going to have to come up there and argue with you himself about why Biggie should have these kind of lyrics. And so after a while, we just created a division of tension, not necessarily directly at me, because Puff couldn't take it out on me because I was the boss. He would take it out on the other staff members. So I remember one meeting we were having, and he told the general manager of the company at the time, he said, I don't work for you. I work for Dre. And I knew he was saying that with love, but I realized it was creating a problem in the day-to-day functioning of the company.
This dismissal, however, would be a pivotal moment in Puff Daddy's career. Around the same time, Puffy was expecting his first child, Justin Dior Combs, with fashion designer and stylist Misa Hilton. However, recently some sources have allegedly claimed that Justin's biological father might have been Anthony Wolf Jones, a close friend of Diddy's who worked as his bodyguard and fixer. Wolf's story and his eventual fate is something we will revisit later. Puffy soon after formed a partnership with Clive Davis's Arista Records, which served as the parent company for Bad Boy, an iconic label synonymous with 90s hip-hop.
Puffy, Fast Bob, Freddy's here.
What up, Bob? Goes on, baby. Everything is all good in the hood.
Yeah. The headquarters right here, kid.
Here I am. You're on TV Raps. We up in this piece.
Yeah.
This is it. Bad Boy
Bad
Entertainment.
Boy Entertainment, no doubt.
Cool. So what we gonna do, baby? Where's Craig and Biggie and all
We're gonna
that?
kick it. They in the back. You know what I'm saying? They in the conference room writing some rhymes right now. But we're gonna go in the back, kick it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna show you my office.
Come on. Let's get.
And the littlest Bad Boy?
Well, I'm not the host of the show no more. Here's my feeling.
You were, I think, going to go to the Clive Davis party.
Yes.
It was a surreal event where Whitney's body was still in the hotel, and there was this sort of party where apparently half the room were in tears, the other half were kind of partying. What did you feel about that?
I thought that was complete insanity. And knowing Whitney, I don't believe that she would have said, the show must go on. She was the kind of woman that would say, stop everything. I'm not going to be there. You know. I don't know what could motivate a person to have a party in a building where the person whose life he had influenced so enormously and whose life had been affected by her. So they were like, I don't understand how that party went
I
on.
had Clive Davis by pure chance in here on Friday night with Jennifer Hudson, and he obviously worshipped Whitney, and I think he must have gone through agony when he heard this news, knowing it was 2 or 3 hours till this event.
Right.
And I think he took the decision
Yeah.
to turn it into a tribute to her. And I understand that. I mean, he obviously was wrestling with
could have felt that.
the right thing to do.
That would have been right if it really was a true tribute.
They say, hurt people. Hurt people. Is it possible that Puffy learned the art of hosting Hollywood events from his association with Davis? Clive Davis, a legendary figure in the music industry, was known for throwing extravagant and exclusive pre-Grammy parties since the mid-70s. Could these pre-Grammy events have planted the seed? Only time would tell. By 1994, the meteoric rise of Bad Boy Records clashed with its West Coast counterpart, Death Row Records, igniting one of the most infamous feuds in music history. This rivalry would soon spiral into a violent conflict, ultimately claiming the lives of two of hip-hop's brightest stars, Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls.
Yeah, I'm scared to do some freestyle. I'm scared to do some freestyle.
A turning point came when Tupac was shot during a robbery at Quad Recording Studios in New York. Although he survived, Tupac grew increasingly convinced that members of Bad Boy, including Sean Diddy Combs, were either involved or had foreknowledge of the attack.
So, do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
Only they can answer that question. I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him.
The Tupac article had me pissed off, you know what I'm saying? Because first of all, he dissed my man, said my man turned his back on him, and I know for a fact that didn't happen, you know what I'm saying? And like the rumors that's spreading is on some tip like we set him up, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy.
Once close friends turned foes, this single event planted the seeds of distrust between Tupac and Biggie, culminating in both of their deaths.
Pac and them get on the elevator. When they go upstairs, they don't go to Big Session, right? Now, what people don't know is Puff didn't know about Big Session. Somebody called him and told him that they was up there, right? Now, Jimmy Hitchman's upstairs waiting for Pac to come up. Them niggas was just beefing. Nigga, I can't get right? Puff is upstairs with Jimmy Hitchman, right? Getting ready to bust in on Biggie and them, little secret ass session. But Puff ain't going in there by himself. He going with Jimmy. But before that can happen, the altercation with Pac happens downstairs.
Right.
So when Pac get on the elevator, come upstairs, and the elevator open, Puff is in there with Jimmy.
Tupac's assassination on September 7th, 1996, sent shockwaves through the music world. The rapper succumbed to his injuries 6 days later, leaving a void in the industry and a mystery that remains unresolved to this day.
I mean, I've been thinking, you know, maybe I'm a scapegoat or something. I just want to let everybody know, you know what I'm saying, I didn't do it.
Allegedly, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, a figure tied to Puffy's inner circle at that time, implicated his nephew as the shooter. Though Puffy has never been officially linked to the murder, suspicion has long clouded his legacy. Just 6 months after Tupac's death, Christopher Wallace, better known as Biggie Smalls, was gunned down in a drive-by shooting on March 9, 1997 in Los Angeles.
Listen, is the party that was shot in your car? No. Okay, you said you're going to the hospital? It's right in front of me. What hospital are you going to? I don't know. I'm not from here. Let's go, man.
Eerily similar to Tupac's fate, the details surrounding Biggie's murder continue to raise questions.
Biggie is screwing Puff over because he got a publishing deal with Diddy, right?
Okay.
But Big is writing all Junior Mafia, Lil Kim, everything, but he telling Puff they writing their own because he's in the publishing deal with Diddy, right?
Okay.
This is what I think ultimately why Big got killed, because he was robbing Puff, right?
Allegedly, Biggie was initially scheduled to attend an event in London, organized by Clive Davis, but was persuaded to stay in Los Angeles, a decision that cost him his life. Kim Porter. Amidst the turmoil that engulfed Diddy's professional life, rivalries, deaths, and mounting pressure, one person brought him much-needed solace, Kim Porter. The two began dating in the mid-1990s. In 1998, they welcomed their son, Christian King Combs.
Christian. What's that saying?
Marking a significant turning point in Diddy's life. Fatherhood brought a new sense of purpose for him, and Kim's nurturing presence encouraged his desire to create a legacy, not just in music, but as a father and a businessman. We'll delve into the life and legacy of Kim Porter after. The infamous 1999 club shooting.
Rap mogul Sean Puffy Combs pleaded not guilty today to charges stemming from a nightclub shooting.
It was supposed to be a night like any other in the glitzy Manhattan club scene. Sean Diddy Combs, along with his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez and rising bad boy artist Shyne, were at Club New York. But what started as a typical night of celebration ended in violence.
Sunday evening, I went to Club New York, and under no circumstances whatsoever did I have anything to do with a shooting. I do not own a gun, nor did I possess a gun that night. I had nothing to do with a shooting in this club.
An altercation broke out in the club, leading to shots being fired. Chaos erupted. 3 clubgoers were hit by stray bullets, leaving one woman, Natanya Rubin, permanently scarred after being shot in the face.
There was really nowhere for me to go. Where I was standing, there was a wrought iron metal rail to my back. I couldn't go. There was a drop over that. In fact, one of my friends fell over it onto the dance floor after everything happened. There was nowhere for me to go. And so as they were going back, they were backing back, like literally walking backwards towards the door, drawing from their hip. I told my friend, I said, oh my God, watch out. As I turned back to look at them, I watched them bow, bow. Both of them fired, and the muzzle flash was like, psh, psh. Shyne's muzzle flash was a little higher. He was on the side closest to the bar. Puffy's muzzle flash was a little lower, and he was on the side closest to where I was, straight ahead from me. I watched them both fire their guns. I watched them. I got hit right here, in my nose, in between my eyes, which means I'm facing directly at you. Just like I'm looking at you, and I can tell you got on black shades. They kind of look like Cazelles and an Adidas shirt. That's exactly how I was looking at him. And I watched him shoot me.
In the aftermath, Diddy, Jennifer Lopez, and Shyne were arrested. Diddy was charged with criminal possession of a weapon, bribery, and conspiracy. Allegedly, he tried to offer his driver $50,000 to take the fall for the weapon found in the vehicle they fled in.
During the trial, Fenderson testified that Combs was armed the night of the shooting at Club New York and later pressured him to claim ownership of a pistol police found when they pulled over Combs's Lincoln Navigator as it fled the shooting.
And I just want to make you feel like comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Make your family feel comfortable.
What exactly Combs meant by that is in dispute.
The star-studded trial gripped headlines, allegations swirled, but Lopez avoided any charges. If it had been proven that she carried the firearm, she could have faced severe legal repercussions, but Lopez was cleared of any wrongdoing. Despite the serious charges, Diddy was acquitted of all charges, while Shyne, a young rapper with a promising future, was sentenced to 10 years in prison. This trial marked a turning point for Diddy, one that cemented his reputation as a hip-hop mogul, but also one that cast a long shadow over his career.
Claims in the lawsuit, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shyne. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual.
I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. This is someone that destroyed my life.
From 2003 to 2013, Sean Diddy Combs experienced a whirlwind of success and adversity.
It's a little kinky, but
Yeah, rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat? You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning?
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, you know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
This period saw him rise as one of the most influential figures in music and business, while also being entangled in personal loss, legal battles, and public controversies. The death of Wolf Jones, a turning point for Diddy. Diddy's close associate and rumored father of his first son, Justin Dior Combs, marked a tragic chapter. Jones, who had been Diddy's bodyguard, was killed in a shootout outside the Club Chaos in Atlanta, reportedly during a dispute with the Black Mafia family, BMF. Although Diddy was not directly involved, Wolf's murder further exposed the dangerous proximity of violence in his world. Despite this, Diddy's career expanded. His performance in Broadway's A Raisin in the Sun showcased his range as an entertainer beyond the music industry. However, this accomplishment was quickly followed by legal turmoil. In 2003, music executive Steve Stoute filed a $3 million lawsuit accusing Diddy of assault over a music video dispute involving Nas. The case was settled out of court, but it added to Diddy's growing list of controversies. From public feuds with artists like 50 Cent and the Lox over royalties, Diddy the mid-2000s was filled with a lot of controversy, but also joy with the birth of his twin daughters, Delilah Starr and Jessie James, with longtime partner Kim Porter in 2006. By 2010, Diddy had expanded his empire beyond music.
Together, y'all have heard about the world-famous party. Many have asked, but few are chosen. It is an exclusive event happening at the Combs estate tonight, sponsored by...
Turning Ciroc vodka into a billion-dollar brand. He also launched his group, Diddy Dirty Money. But even as his business ventures thrived, more feuds emerged, this time with Lil' Kim, highlighting the cracks in his relationships with former Bad Boy artists. In 2013, Diddy took a significant leap into media with the launch of Revolt TV, further solidifying his status as a Khristina Khorram. Khristina Khorram, a catalyst for freak-offs. Khristina Khorram, a woman whose influence on Diddy's life is undeniable. By 2014, Diddy relocated to Los Angeles, and it was said that Khorram played a central role in supporting this transition. While little is publicly known about Khorram's background, reports suggest she was the daughter of Iranian immigrants and grew up in North Carolina before moving to the West Coast. In Los Angeles, she became well connected in the fashion, marketing, and entertainment circles. Khorram's presence in Diddy's life is often linked to the radical changes he underwent during this period.
When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he using drugs. He was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turned into something that you could consider a monster, bruh. Then he started doing things to people, you understand, that he learned.
His lavish Holmby Hills mansion became infamous for wild, drug-fueled parties, and whispers about her role as his new fixer surfaced. Some have compared her influence to that of Ghislaine Maxwell in the world of Jeffrey Epstein, but the full extent of Khorram's involvement in Diddy's personal and professional life remains shrouded in mystery. Diddy's LA move quickly spiraled into something darker and more controversial.
Homeland Security agents have raided the home of rapper Sean Diddy.
Has been raided by Homeland Security. Of course, we're looking.
Raiding the Los Angeles and Miami Beach homes of rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs. And tonight we are learning the raids could be linked to
this part of the story later.
Trafficking.
18th May 2018, John Oddi and the Boule. In May 2018, a bizarre incident occurred at the Trump National Doral Golf Club in Miami. A man named Jonathan Oddi entered the resort, brandishing a gun and firing shots, all while displaying an American flag and shouting pro-Trump rhetoric. Oddi was arrested after a shootout with police, but it wasn't the violence that kept him in the headlines. It was what he said afterward that raised eyebrows. During his interrogation, Oddi made shocking claims, alleging that Sean Diddy Combs and singer Cassie were involved in a world of sexual exploitation. He painted Diddy as a voyeur, a cuck, claiming the music mogul would watch as Oddi engaged in strange acts with Cassie. More disturbingly, Oddi insinuated that these encounters were part of a larger, sinister network tied to elite, powerful figures.
You know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave. Okay, for them that's what I was. That's all. All right. You're gonna believe me. You have what's called the Illuminati.
Illuminati.
Okay. Yeah, Illuminati. Okay. They've made it in dance. Basically, what it means, illuminated.
I got you.
Okay. They do satanic ritual abuse, which is basically CIA mind programming techniques to their own family, kids, etc. They're in the group, and they bond that way. Okay, so they do sexual pedophilia, they do animal abuse, killing of animals, blood sacrifices, and everything in the Bohemian Grove. Diddy and Ross and Khaled, they're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Got you. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay.
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worries.
The family here of the Illuminati are descendants of the royal British family. Okay. Donald turned his back, but he's still trying to negotiate a peaceful way out, and they have an agenda to kill him. Okay. Your mind's already predisposed at this happening, and you accepting it. Okay.
What is the Boule? To understand the gravity of Oddi's claims, we need to look deeper into the Boule. Officially known as Sigma Pi Phi, the Boule was established in 1904 as the first African-American professional fraternity. Often described as the black version of Yale's infamous Skull and Bones Society, It was founded to bring together black men of elite status to foster leadership, professional success, and influence in their respective fields. While the Boule operates largely in secrecy, its members are often influential public figures, doctors, lawyers, politicians, religious figures, and entertainers, tapped up from high schools, colleges, and professional environments. Over the years, many have been accused of being part of this exclusive circle. There's a certain profile that fits those allegedly tied to the Boule, individuals of prestige influence. People like the late Clarence Avant, known as the godfather of black music, are often rumored to have connections to such organizations. However, we must be clear, we are not claiming Avant himself was a member. But figures of his stature, with deep industry ties and influence, embody the type of individual who would be sought after by such elite groups. One of the more curious elements often cited by conspiracy theorists is symbolism.
What was up with Prince Harry's hand during that photo op with the First Lady? Was he making a cryptic sign to ward off the devil? That's the kooky theory burning up the internet today.
For instance, basketball superstar LeBron James is alleged to be part of the Boule, with some pointing to his prominent chest tattoo as resembling the fraternity's Sigma Pi Phi logo. Theories like these have long been floated in certain circles.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party.
That powerful black figures, whether in entertainment, sports, or politics, are connected to hidden networks of influence. In the case of Diddy, his immense influence over the music industry, as well as his political involvement, has only fueled suspicions. His Vote or Die campaign and open support for Democratic candidates have led some to suggest that his political efforts are part of a larger agenda. Many believe the Boule acts as a gatekeeper, controlling the flow of influence and ensuring that those within its ranks do not stray from its interests. Diddy's long-standing influence in the entertainment world, combined with his ties to political power, raises questions about the forces that may have shaped his career behind the scenes. Jonathan Oddi's claims back in 2018 seemed outlandish at the time. Stories of sex slavery, elite power circles, and secret societies. But as we dig deeper into Diddy's connections and the Boule's history, we find that what seemed like a conspiracy might hold more weight than we initially thought. Could Diddy be part of this elite organization? And if so, how far does its influence extend into the worlds of entertainment and politics? How much of Diddy's success is the result of carefully orchestrated, unseen forces? Subscribe to our account as we'll continue to investigate this story.